Content warning for the video ahead. Topics such as suicide, self-harm, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and anything in this content warning right down here. If you find this disturbing, this video may not be for you, and this video is intended for mature audiences. So if you are young, this video is not for you. Please do not watch this. This is not intended for you. This video is for informational archival purposes. It is not monetized, as I want people to be able to listen to this all the way through without being interrupted, and also because I want this information to get out there. For those that don't know, this is Kat's statement. Kat was a contributor to Pressure and was referenced a lot in Zeal and Ren's document. And while I've done my best to cover mainly their stuff, I haven't covered anybody else's statements on the matter, mainly because they weren't there during the alleged crime, but their information may come to play or might help push, I guess, a certain, I don't want to say a narrative, might help give some insight, because right now we only have two people's sides of the story, but maybe there's something that we don't know. I have not looked at this document yet, which is what we're going to be looking at in today's video. It is going to be a long one. Like I said, if I'm trying to cover everything, so I want to make sure that all this information is getting out there and that there is a way to ingest this information by not just reading it. So that is why I'm narrating it, and I will struggle to do so. I do have a ginormous Chick-fil-A cup of water that I'm going to be drinking out of to try not and lose my sanity as I dive into this 44-page document. Oh man, they never stop, and they keep coming. Anyway, let's go ahead and read Kat's statement. Above, before we get into the introduction, there are annotations that have been made. The last annotation being on the 24th of April, the earliest being all the way from the 13th. You can see what has been changed. I do like that they have given us annotations, because those, it shows that, that they're actually still working and editing this to this day. And the last annotation was from 2 days ago. So, I'm going to be reading this. It is as of, what is this? The 27th of April, 2026. So if there are any more additions to this document, well, I guess I'm not going to be reading it because I'm reading it at the state. So just making that clear. Anyway, introduction. Now finally getting into the video. Sorry, I know that was a long intro. My name is Kat. I have been with the Pressure community since July of 2024, and I began doing official work as a contributor sometime in early 2025. This is not a document to harass or otherwise harm individuals involved. This is to bring some clarification to some points brought up about me within Ren's document and provide my personal experience with Zeal being inappropriate. This is based on what I know and my perspective only. There are things that I may not know which could be revealed later on. This document is to address the allegations on me and give me a perspective and voice. For legal purposes, all claims made in this document are alleged. Okay. Probably what should have been inside of Ren's document, but we know where the legal troubles are coming there for that one. Anyway, continuing onwards. Content warning, as I've already discussed at the start of this video. This document discusses sexual assault, sexual harassment, inappropriate relationship and conduct in the workplace, suicide, mental health, and misogyny. The bottom of this document features resources for sexual trauma and mental illness. Alt text is provided on every image with the conversation written out. Okay, so we have like an actual transcript. Oh my god, my voice is already getting dry. Oh man. Ooh, okay. Already taking a deep breath. Getting ready to read this. Okay. Not all points have photographic evidence. If a claim does not have photographic evidence, it is one of the following reasons. This was said to me verbally, whether on the phone or in person. My source comes from a piece of text in which the writer was in a vulnerable or severe mental state. This could be a journal or a chat where an individual was having a mental breakdown. To protect the privacy of these thoughts, points from these are summarized and quotes are used sparingly and only when I feel like they are absolutely necessary. Okay. You are within your right as the reader to take these with caution. Okay, so I will say a lot, and this is what made Ren's document so looked like from the outside without analyzing anything. That is what made the document look so I guess structurally strong, if that makes sense, because there were so many screenshots. Verbally, that's okay. I'm gonna keep going. I'm a little worried about this right here. How much of this we're going to be seeing inside of this document. Anyway, in summary, a large majority of pressure staff were unaware of the events that happened between Ren and Zeal. Please leave them out of this. The next bullet point reads, the small number of those who were unaware of the sexual interactions between Ren and Zeal were led to believe by multiple people, such as Zeal and individuals close to Ren, that the actions between them were consensual. Wait. The small number of those who were aware of the sexual interactions between Ren and Zeal were led to believe by multiple people, such as Zeal and the individuals close to Ren, that the actions between them were consensual. Okay. None of us had known Ren was allegedly assaulted. We had been told through Zeal and other sources that the two of them had consensual sexual encounters. Okay. Ren and I had a bad relationship prior to the events of RDC. This is only explained to provide context to certain actions. This should not and cannot take away from the fact that Ren is a victim or give readers a negative view of her. I did not know she was assaulted. Our negative relationship is here for informational purposes to explain our in-person interactions, which is mentioned in Ren's statement. It relates to mental health struggles that I was upset about, but no longer blame her for. I was upset by the way things happened. At the core, Ren is someone who has been hurting for a long time. She deserves resources and friends at her side. I'm a victim of harassment at the hands of Zeal. Okay. That's a statement. And you did make a claim for legal purposes. All claims made are alleged. Okay. This was tolerated by me because I'm a victim of harassment by Zeal. Okay. This was tolerated by me because I had given up trying to fight it. What happened to me should not take away from what happened to Ren. It should only be used as additional material for how inappropriate Zeal was as a person to those who were subordinates to him. That's a word. I'm just bad at English. Taking another sip of water. And yes, it is water. I do not go into detail about these experiences because what happened to me is not relevant to the fact that Ren was allegedly assaulted and permanently hurt as a result of Zeal's actions. Okay. I do not go into detail about these experiences. I'm a victim of harassment at the... What? Yeah, guys, I'm a victim of harassment, but I'm not going to go into it. Okay. Why even fucking mention that detail? You're not going to go into it. Like, are you going to give us proof? I'm sorry. I'm kind of jumping. I'm not trying to jump the gun here, but I mean, that's like a contradictory statement. I'm not going to go into detail about these experiences because what happened to me is not relevant to the fact. Then why fucking have it if it's not relevant? Why even have this sentence in here? Okay, cool. I will not be naming any individuals outside of Ren or Zeal, with a single exception for privacy purposes. Most are given code names, which are outlined here. Glossary of names. Oh, we have a glossary. Okay. Zeal is the creative lead of Pressure. He has been accused of assault by Ren. He has a history of being uncomfortable around women and feminine-presenting individuals. Ren is the former lead composer of Pressure. She was no longer a part of the team as of May 2025. She has accused Zeal of sexually assaulting her around the events of RDC. Zeram was a Pressure contributor, assisting me in telling Zeal to stop harassing me. Oh, really? Okay. Zeram was not aware of Ren being sexually assaulted. X was, at the time of these events, a close friend of Ren's. This individual explained to us their version of Ren's story, which we were inclined to believe due to their closeness. Considering new evidence, I believe that X may have been unaware of certain details, exaggerated some, or potentially lied about these items. I do not believe X was aware of Ren being allegedly assaulted. I believe X was very concerned for Ren's safety. I do not believe X was aware of Ren being allegedly assaulted. Okay. Y is a friend of mine that is also a friend of Ren. Y was not aware of Ren being sexually assaulted. Okay, so you give us a glossary of things, of names, but nowhere in this, they weren't aware of any of this happening. This is part of my issue with reading like third-hand accounts of the encounter, because what does this fucking prove? Oh yeah, they're proving that nobody knew what happened at the time. You're giving us bullshit information that doesn't make sense. That is not going to lead us anywhere. It's not going to prove anything. If anything, and I'm just going to say this just as a blanket statement, but if anything, that just helps Zeal's case out more. That doesn't help Ren's case out. That's me. Look, I'm not trying to defend him here, right? But that's just a statement. That's okay. Why? I need to keep reading. I'm asking too many questions. Sorry. I've read so many fucking documents at this point. There's so much shit. So like I'm seeing all this information intertwine and like interject with each other, and it's like, okay. Anyway. If Ren would like to contact me regarding clearing up certain points from this document, she has my contact information. I would like to get the full perspective of her experience. She would be comfortable in doing so, but I also understand that these events are very traumatizing to her, and that she is under a heavy amount of stress at this time. She is also not obligated to ever speak to me for her own safety and peace. Even if my perspective was manipulated, I take blame for further perpetuating lies and causing Ren more harm. Please do not harass anyone. Do not harass Ren or anyone I previously worked with. This is about parts of my perspective. Ren deserves peace. I am not trying to gain sympathy or weasel my way out of this with my contribution. Whoa. To any further distress or issues to Ren's situation. However, I think it is important for me to put my side of the story, have readers see all perspectives and make their own conclusions. Okay. Going on strong with that intro. That's all I'm going to say. Context of my involvement in Pressure. I originally started as a fan who applied to be a moderator. Due to my skills in various other departments, I slowly turned from a moderator into someone doing lots of various tasks for Pressure, including writing, community, merchandising, and more. I left Pressure and everything regarding Roblox, Zeal, or otherwise. I'm extremely disgusted at the situation that has unfolded and the things I have learned. I want nothing to do with Zeal anymore after what I have learned. Okay. Additional information. I also ask that any studios please give love to the individuals who are now out of work as a result of these issues with Pressure. This game was made by dozens of extremely talented and kind individuals who I believe deserve great opportunities in the game's history. Again, a vast majority of them were not aware of this situation, and they were disgusted by the actions of their former boss. I have learned from another person that Ren is gender fluid, but have been using she, her at this time. Some of these screenshots were when Ren used to go by other pronouns. If anything here is incorrect, please let me know. Information on Ren and I's prior relationship to the events of RDC. Please note the following. Despite what Ren and I experienced in our relationship, my feelings regarding things that took place prior to RDC do not and should not take away the fact that she was allegedly assaulted. This is only here to describe why I acted and felt the ways I did during RDC. I do not look at her differently because of our relationship issues. This is partly written because Ren mentions that she does not know why I disliked her prior to the events of RDC. This should not change your feelings on Ren as a person, as this is primarily my personal feelings. They are only being explained so she understands. Okay. I'm just kind of reading, and I'll point out bullshit when I see it. Ren and I were friends from January 2025 to the end of March 2025. Oh, okay. Two-month friendship. We did things together such as play games together, watching anime, etc. We hung out regularly, and I greatly enjoyed it when she told me about things that she enjoyed and that she was working on. I assisted her in trying to get legal advice for when a British bot was falsely copyright claiming her music, and I assisted her with other things related to display and distribution of her music. I did this because she was my friend. I wanted to help her. I do not regret doing these things whatsoever. Ooh, now we get into some background context. Why they no longer talk to each other. Why we no longer speak to each other. At some point in the middle of March 2025, Ren had disappeared. Multiple individuals within our team and her friend group grew concerned about her well-being, attempting to reach out to her via Discord, Roblox, and otherwise. We had believed she may have wanted space, but once it reached the 2-week mark, we were concerned. I had her email via iMessage, and so I reached out to her to let her know we were all worried if she needed anything. Please note, the next section included panicked messages and writings from something that is personal to Ren. I will not be sharing direct screenshots because I want to respect the privacy of her exact thoughts. However, I explain our fallout. I must give a summary. The next morning, I woke up to 186 plus text messages, primarily insults, keys message. Oh my God, my throat is so fucking dry. Delicious water. Anyway, key smashes. Holy fuck. Key smashes. I can't speak. Or talking to herself. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Well, that looks familiar, huh? Okay. Sorry. I just got sent a piece of information that I might be cross-referencing. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But that information lines up with the other one. I don't know if this screenshot is fake or not. I'm not sure. Anyway, continuing onwards. She also expressed to me the following. She had apparently had romantic feelings for me for an unknown period of time. We would often match profile pictures on Discord and socials. I have never seen this as such as a thing exclusive to couples, as I have done this with my close friends multiple times. She took this as a sign that things were gearing in a romantic direction, which I was unaware of. I mentioned that I was potentially interested in another person. She believed that me and this other person were dating. We were not. I believe this was just miscommunication between Ren and I. I do not blame her for being confused. I mentioned that I was calling this person at night and it made Ren upset. This is something I have done regularly, can't say that, with my friend group for years. We call this sleepovers and fall asleep on call. She makes a note that she believes I led her on, but ultimately denies this. If I was not doing so on purpose. I think this is simply a matter of us lacking communicating our feelings to one another, and I do not blame her for the conclusions she came to otherwise. She had blocked me in various places as a result, saying that she needed to remove me from her life to stop from crying and or vomiting. Okay. In summary, Ren appeared to be upset at me because I was having romantic feelings for someone else. I had not seen the signs prior. It was only here that I learned about her feelings. I am led to believe that she walked away from everything of her... She walked away from everything because of her feelings about me and being in places with me and being in spaces with me, but I cannot confirm this. Ren is someone who has been hurt for a very long time and believed that finding a significant other would bring her happiness. This is not an uncommon belief. Many of my friends have gone through or still feel the same way, even as they grow older. She is not weak or vulnerable for wanting this sort of companionship in her life. At the end of the day, she wanted something and I could not provide it. I hope she finds what she's looking for one day. Please understand that what happened here was a mental breakdown from Ren, likely akin to borderline personality disorder splitting. I know, and hopefully she knows that, period. Please do not, I know, and hopefully she knows that. Please do not blame her for any breakdown which may have occurred. I do agree with this statement to an extent. At the end of the day, you are still responsible for what you do. And you need to, you are still the one doing it. There may be things that cause you to lash out. There may be things that cause you to say things that you don't mean. But at the end of the day, you need to take care of them. I'm not going to insert my own personal shit here. But speaking from someone who does have anger issues, you are the one, at the end of the day, you look down at the mess that you've created and nobody else is around you except for you. We're not like, you are still held responsible for what you do. Don't blame her, but nobody's blaming her. We're just holding her responsible. But hey, man, apparently neutrality is frowned upon and criticism is hatred and all this other shit. I don't know. Blame her. No, bro. Hold her accountable. Jesus. After this, I had offered to step away from spaces or remove myself from other places so Ren could be more comfortable. We had made a new server for pressure development that she refused to join because I was in there, in a leadership position, because I had organized this server. Instead, she opted for messaging Zeal directly concerning music content. While I was frustrated that this would be the case, since this server was meant for all team members, all team members to have equal footing in communication, I respected her decision. Oh, wow. Okay. These are things I am aware of that she said or felt about me after the events above. On April 7th, 2025, Zeal wanted to watch Black Mirror with some pressure contributors and invited Ren to watch with us. She refused because she knew I was there and mentioned my name, and that mentioning my name made her vomit. Okay. She told individuals that she would pretend blank was dead to make Ren feel... Wait, what? Pretend Cat was dead to make Ren feel better? What? That's fucking insane. Ren was upset that I did not hate her despite what had happened. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. Okay. I did not have solid proof of these claims because they were told to me verbally by people who had contact with Ren. The exception is the last point, but messages of Ren saying that were shown on someone's phone to a friend of mine in person. I was not present for this. I did grow frustrated with her in those months because of the difficulties. Ultimately, I believed she was just mentally struggling with being a young adult in a, frankly, stressful environment both in her real life and in the digital world. After learning of what really happened to her, I understand that my anger was misdirected by nonetheless... What... Hold on. I understand that my anger was misdirected, but nonetheless hurt her. Okay, sorry. That happened back in April. And if I'm not mistaken, September is what? How many months away from like 6 months away from April? Right? No, like 5 months away from September. I don't like okay, hold on. First off, Ren and Zeal's relationship, right? They've been friends for 5 years. You can go back. It's said in Zeal's document, right? They had been on and off friends. They were out of contact for like a month, all the way up until like April, or not April, August. Sorry, I'm like a lot of dates here. This wasn't something that transpired over months. This was something that transpired over the days leading up to RDC. Okay. Difficulty. I mean, yeah, okay, man. Sure. Another sip of water. Okay. Attempts at working things out. At some point, Ren had pulled me into a server to talk things out, but this was met with failure. I was removed before we could come to a conclusion. Eventually, Zeal forced both of us into a Discord group where we talked about our feelings together. We drifted apart again shortly after. For the reasons above, I was not comfortable with Ren. Ren had repeatedly blocked and unblocked me over the course of April 2025 to July 2025. I finally ended up blocking her on social media when she attempted to friend request me again on Discord in July 2025. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. I'm not confused. It was to protect my peace and was not out of any kind of malice. Please understand, though, that these were all personal relationship qualms that I did not see as important to bring up outside of my small group of friends who asked why we stopped hanging out. To reiterate, it is only here to give context. The forced to fire comments and why I use these words. This comes primarily from two experiences. If Ren would like to discuss with me what these specific items mean, specifically the group chat, so I can clearly understand her side of the story, this is up to her discretion. I would love clarification so I have the full story and distance myself from the one-sided perspective I had. However, as stated above, she has no obligation to do so, and she should protect her peace. Point one. Ren was venting about how working on the game made her feel, and this was my response. All right, we actually have screenshots. First screenshot of the document, and we're how many pages in? 11 out of 44. All right, we're 1/4 of the way through. Zoom in so we can read this, and then we'll read the summary of the conversation. Ren says, and then my friend shows up in my DM saying stuff like, Ren, I'm going to be honest, you're really talented, and it feels shitty watching you slave away for a slop game. That killed me inside. Others said that I have so much potential with my music style to do something crazy, yet I'm stuck remaking other people's music styles to appeal to an owner and a fandom. Shit like this drives me nuts. Kat says, being a musician is hard. I don't think making music for the purpose is inherently bad, but if it's degrading you, that does no good for anyone. You might want to try reaching around to upcoming projects that seem more your style and see if they're, like, open for work. Sure, I know you like. Okay, sorry. I'm, like, reading that. I'm like, what? Ren says, I'm tired of being given music tracks that exist and being told to remake them. Kat said, don't want to just make music for games, but sadly it is what pays the bills. But what I'm wanting to get to is that hopefully you can get somewhere where you can do that for a job and not feel tired at the end of the day, to work on your own things as well. Ren says, I want to work on my series more so bad. I thought over and over about many things, and one of them was, what if I managed to make people hate me so I can walk out of pressure? But I don't know how to do that. I had my friend compose the Abomination song, and it's so relieving. I thought over and over about many things, and one of them was, what if I managed to make people hate me so I can walk out of pressure? What kind of self-destructive shit is that? Kat says this wouldn't be good for you. This wouldn't be good for your other projects, though. The summary of the conversation: Ren expresses her concerns on working for pressure. I give her some advice to try looking at opportunities in other places that pressure is stressing her out. She talks about wanting to work more on her series and make more music for herself. Towards the end, she makes a comment about how she wanted to make people hate her so she can walk out of pressure when she was in an unhealthy mental place. This led me to a thought about a force firing that is found deeper below. Okay. Addressing the streaming situation before getting to the second forced firing thought. I also want to really quickly bring up a point concerning Ren streaming music. If I recall, at the time, she was streaming the production of her music on a public channel. She and I were still not on good terms, so I did not want to DM her privately. I may not be fully remembering this section, and I want to take responsibility for that. There was a file in the program for the Search Party remake. I had been out at the time and got a notification for a stage relating to the creation of Beneath the Final Light. I had reached out to Zerum. I'm only using her name because it is brought up in this situation in Ren's document. Upon seeing that Ren was streaming some of the music's creation to ensure she had permission and was not doing so without telling anyone. We had only recently been caring about posting leaks or spoilers in public. Whether or not she had permission to stream the creation of the upcoming OST was not something I would have known. I did not know that Zeal would yell at Ren in public about it, and I find that behavior unacceptable. Zerum did not know this would happen either. I had assumed Zeal would reach out to Ren and ask her to stop in a civil manner. We did not know how loudly he raised his voice, as we were not in that stage. At some point, Zeal had messaged me with concern and pulled me into a call where he was screen sharing a group chat with Zeal, Ren, and another individual that was staged like an intervention. Taking another water. Okay. I'm also going to make it clear that I am not defending any of Zeal's actions in this conversation, including the yelling or otherwise. I am retelling what I saw and why I came to my conclusions. I even told Zeal during the call that he should not have yelled at Ren. Per my messages above, if she would like to clarify to me what happened in this group chat so I can understand why it unfolded the way it did and what the interactions were from her side, I would like to hear. Well, that was a big fucking sentence. I would like to hear. I'm not putting blame on her or saying what happened here was bad. I'm not putting blame on her. Okay, cool. How it appeared to me in this call is this. Zeal had not typed for an extended period of time. It appeared that these two individuals were yelling at him until he would finally pull the trigger to fire Ren. Below are the only two screenshots I got from the call. Other sort of things that were said included, "I'm so scared," written over and over, the friends telling Ren to do breathing exercises and calling Zeal financially manipulative. What the fuck? Where is this? Hold on. I'm sorry. How it appears in this call, Zeal not typed for an extended period of time. It appeared that these two individuals were yelling at him until he would finally pull the trigger to fire Ren. Below are the only two screenshots I got from the call. Okay. I guess it's this one? Wait, where are the screenshots? There are no screenshots! Okay, cool, dude. Anyway, I'm so scared. Ren's claim that this was the fact that anytime Ren wanted to quit pressure, Zeal would try to calm her down by playing a game with her and talking her back into staying. At the time this happened, the group percentage for pressure plus streams of the music was Ren's only income. I wanted to believe Zeal wanted to keep Ren on so that she did not lose her primary stream of income. Wait a minute. I just read a line. Wait, what? And calling Zeal financially manipulative. I mean, sure, Did not want her to lose her primary stream of income. If he's trying to keep her on the project, is that being manipulative? If he doesn't want to, I mean, I guess you could say it is. Okay, I'm not saying that I still believe this. Cool. This document is so shittily formatted. I've read a lot of documents, guys. All right. Anyway, they also claimed that Zeal was not typing because someone else was typing for him, and they began addressing this person as well. Ultimately, Zeal ended the call before I could see the response, at least as far as I remember. In short, the previous comment about making people hate her... Making people hate her made me believe that this was in relation. That Ren brought Zeal into a chat with a friend and said things to him for the duration of the group chat's existence to make him hate her and ultimately fire her. Ren later posts on social media that she quit because of mental health reasons, which is ultimately true. While I have a screenshot from this chat, it is not only very blurry, it was being screen shared to me, but it also appeared that Ren was panicking. For her sake, I do not wish to share this vulnerability publicly, as I have omitted the screenshot. My problem with this document is a lot of it is just your word, and not a lot of it is actual context. This is like, I'm sorry. And with one of these, it's all of you, it's your word and it's your credibility. I don't know this person, but evidence does back up your claims. And right now you don't have a lot of evidence with all the claims that you're making. That is a blanket statement in general. If you come to me and you tell me somebody did something, and you don't have screenshots or proof or anything, how am I supposed to believe you? If Ren had made her document all of these claims against Zeal, and there were no screenshots, how are we supposed to believe her? Same thing with Zeal. If he came out and he was like debunking everything, or, and he was giving his snippets of context that weren't present in the OG document, same shit. I'm going to say this right now. I do not fucking like this document. This feels very this feels very defensive. Like we're writing this trying to defend yourself. And I know that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to defend why you were acting a certain way. Because in the document that Ren wrote, yeah, you kind of do look like a villain and it all. I mean, pressure at the pressure development team, some of the people in the development team were vilified. So, I mean, anyway, I'm going to continue reading this. At the same time, I do not understand how to view this call in the screenshot other than through this lens. What happened when this happened? I saw this as a group chat made to scrutinize Zeal until he gave in and fired Ren. I very much understand that I do not have all the information. I would like to reiterate that I do not support Zeal yelling at Ren. The yelling was not the only part of this conversation. It went on like this for about 20 minutes. Zeal asked me what he could say to them. I do not remember giving him an answer. What? Hold on. Kat was paid hush money. No, I was not paid hush money. I do not know of Ren's alleged sexual assault until her statement was released. If I was offered money to keep quiet about someone's sexual assault, I would not take it. I would get in contact with the victim and provide what resources I can report to their assaulter to necessary authorities. Transparency on my pressure payments. When this document was first written, I had not been paid since rejoining Pressure's team in January. I often said I did not want to be paid or that my paycheck should be used on someone else because I worked on Pressure for fun/experience. If someone else on our team needed to be paid, I would prefer they be paid before I was. The money nor position is not what kept me working on Pressure. It was the passion for this game and my coworkers. If anything, I was being too humble. Okay. We can also recoup if we do more regular updates, and if we need to do more downsize, like I don't mind not getting paid if other people can/do. Zeal said, no, I can't do that to you. Oh, my throat. Oh, God. Oh, man. Okay. The annotation below the screenshot reads, Zeal was discussing with me his worry for Pressure's finances. Half a slice of cake cost a huge amount of money, primarily for skins and for other 3D UI. Zeal expressed fears that he expanded the team too quickly and may not be able to pay for everyone on time. I suggested that the team does more regularly scheduled updates, such as ones with smaller amounts of monsters or with cosmetics. If worse comes to worse, downsizing the team may be necessary. Okay. A majority of Pressure staff and contributors have not been paid for their work on Half a Slice of Cake update. Deal to Zeal running out of money during this update's development cycle. Excuse me. Oh man. Excuse me. Anyway, if you were not in the group's percentage of Pressure funds, you were paid through either Robux or PayPal by Zeal. We trusted Zeal to pay us 2 to 4 weeks after the update due to the amount of time DevX would take to process earnings. We all trusted that he would pay us later. According to a former Pressure contributor, Zeal's family has confirmed that they are taking over the payment of Pressure's staff and contributors. However, Zeal's family does not know how Robux work, which is understandable. Pressure contributors are currently sending PayPal invoices. Pressure staff are now slowly being paid over PayPal. Some staff members are owed in the 5 digits. I have since been paid for my work, which was approximately 1,400 USD for the months of February and March. Well, I'm glad his family is doing this. Zeal should not have waited until after an update to pay his staff. When did the update drop? I agree with the statement. So let's not I'm not disagreeing that you should pay everybody for what you do. After, you need to pay people for the work that they've done. I do know, and at least in Roblox development, it's a little on and off because sometimes you run out of money, to pay people. And this isn't an excuse I'm giving for people. This is just because I know, because I've worked on a game before. I'm working on a game right now. But, okay, interesting. That's, okay. Even if Pressure's team allowed this because we trusted Zeal, and this is not normal procedure, and this should not happen in Pressure or any other games. Financials and budgets should be decided before an update, and no one should have to bank on an update being successful in order to get compensated for their work. I agree with the statement. During this period, when I would need certain art resources for promotional material, in-game content, or otherwise, I would try to pay out of pocket because I was embarrassed at the fact that Zeal was telling people, we have no money right now, so we will pay you later. This happened with both employees working on Pressure with with voice actors we would employ. Okay. Based on my PayPal transactions, this was what I was paid by Zeal. Please note that none of our transactions have details written on them. Okay, $1,472 on June 2025. I believe this is for the Sebastian keychain / Painter plus iFestation plushies given the timestamp. $191.02 in July 2025. Okay. My paycheck was around $200 for my writing and community work. A lot of fucking money for lore writing. Oh my God. 200 doubloons. It's not life-changing money, but still. $10,000? Jesus Christ! I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait. Yo! That's a lot of money. Pressure was making a fuck ton of money. That's actually nuts. $658 in August 2025. Following the success of Worth the Wait Part 1, my monthly salary was increased to around $550. I was given an extra $100 because he liked me, according to an event post I made to my friends in early August. September and October 2025, I do not have PayPal transactions. I believe this is when we switched to 100K Robux a month instead due to tax concerns. And then November, $10,000. Holy shit. A lot of money. Of the 200K Robux I was given, 100K was donated to another Roblox game. 50K was given for one commission, and 20K was given for multiple other commissions. The remaining 30K I spent on avatar items, game passes, or otherwise. Good God, that is a lot of money. A majority of any artwork that was used, is that 10K? Is that supposed to be 10K? No, it's $10,000. A majority of the artwork that was used for social media or otherwise was paid out of pocket by me. Zeal eventually noticed my frustration / side comments about paying out of pocket and offered to pay for them. While I understand that I should have asked first, I do not believe he saw any value in community engagement like that, so I was hesitant to ask. Well, you assumed, and you were doing it out of your own pocket. Guys, if your boss isn't paying for something and you're paying for it, and that boss is like, hey, you're getting mad. Why are you so mad at work? It's like, well, I'm having to pay for all these cups because you won't buy any goddamn cups. Oh, I mean, yeah, I can help you with that if you want. What? Okay, this only occurred once with items I got commissioned for our community, in which he gave me 120K Robux to pay the user. The most I was ever paid is $10,000 because of Makeship. Originally, I initially believed this was due to my contribution with the iFestation plus Painter plus Seb keychain campaign, with making the trailer and other promotional material. I now believe that this is a combination of the 2.0 Sebastian plush launch and a percentage from the Deep Sea Bunny plus Abomination campaign due to the timestamps. I had created some social media posts and assisted with other material regarding the campaign. This $10,000 was around 2 to 5% of earnings. What? What do you mean? Wait, Makeship sends the money from earnings directly to Zeal, and Zeal would distribute this to contributors through either bank transfer or PayPal. Okay. I refunded the $10,000 because I was uncomfortable with receiving such large amounts of money from Zeal. You can read the information on Zeal and I's relationship for why I felt this way. Speak for yourself. You send me $10,000. You want to know what I'm buying? I'm buying 10,000 McChickens. You got me messed up. Anyway, sorry. Pressure Corps staff members would regularly get cuts from Makeship campaigns, while some individuals, such as myself, may get smaller percentages depending on how we contributed to the campaign itself. I was paid $1,000 one time for a cut of the Sebastian 2.0 plush alongside this. My percentage was 1% of the monthly earnings on this item. Okay. Information on Zeal and I's relationship. Finally getting into the fucking entree. I came into Pressure after the game had launched, originally starting as a moderator and eventually becoming an employee of Zeal. I excused Zeal's behavior towards me because at the time I believed he was naive and ignorant. That is why I tolerated him for so long. This is only now it is only now that I'm reflecting on the possibilities that I was used. To note, this is not to take away whatsoever from anything Ren has experienced. Excuse me. This is only to add my own experience with Zeal and how he has uncomfortable interactions with other feminine presenting people. It is to provide backing to Ren's statements. From approximately March 2025 to up until April 2026, wow, that's a long time, Zeal would harass me, sexually or not. This includes sending me inappropriate and suggestive pictures of 2D women, asking me if I masturbated to pictures he would send me, calling me pet names in development calls and in private plus talks about petting me. Ew. Sending me pictures of himself while at the gym. Platonic flirting, in his words. I have told him multiple times to stop. He would at first take it well, but the behavior would start again regardless. I often felt compelled to participate in regularly talking about suggested pictures and topics. Okay. I'm seeing people ask me to see screenshots regarding Zeal's treatment of me. I have a 17-page supplemental document containing these screenshots and pictures. I have been given legal advice to withhold these screenshots in fear of legal retaliation from Zeal's mother, who has made a public statement that she has plans to sue Ren. If I am brought into that suit or a similar one as a result of my statements, then my photographic evidence is saved for court. Okay. The statement still goes, you make a claim, you need evidence to back it up. You're giving us a claim, but you're not giving us evidence, Cat. I look at evidence. Zombiey looks at evidence. I look at all of the evidence, right? And when I don't see evidence, I'm just hearing word of mouth. If we're taking word of mouth here, well, shit. We would be in a much different scenario. Fuck, at this point. Anyway, okay. There are multiple occasions, and I'm not saying that I don't believe her here. So like, let's not go through like this like shit. I'm just pointing out the obvious, where it's like you're making a whole bunch of claims and you're saying like they're all alleged. Okay, if I don't see evidence, like I'm not even kidding. I've seen 3 screenshots, 3 fucking screenshots in this entire document. Do I need to go and count? Hold on. Let me go and count. 4 screenshots. 3 of those have been from Discord. I'm almost halfway through your document, and you have only given me 4 screenshots, 3 of which actually provide context. This document is shit. I really want to read more. I want context, and right now the only context I have is your word. Just so everyone's aware, if you want to write a document, have fucking evidence. Sort your fucking cite your sources. It's common sense. You learn that shit in fucking middle school. There are multiple occasions in which people in pressure community believe that Zeal and I were dating. I would have to delete comments that speculated this as the case, and I clarify that this was not the case multiple times. Zeal never denied these claims. The scenario of us being in a romantic relationship was never true nor a possibility. I felt like, oh, finally, another fucking screenshot. Anyway, I felt like I also had to engage in this behavior. There were instances in which I initiated sending explicit 2D artwork to Zeal, but it was primarily to poke light at the art itself or to admire the craftsmanship of the art. He had stated sending it in the first place. I did this out of fear that if I did not participate in these discussions that he would treat me lesser. The relationship between Zeal and I got so bad that it was affecting my physical health. I spoke to Zeram and she had to intervene personally in Zeal's DMs. At some point before this, Zeal had asked me about how comfortable I was with the things he was sending me. Brain fart. At some point before this, Zeal had asked me about how comfortable I was with the things he was sending me. Again, because I was scared of the repercussions if I said no. I sheepishly said I was fine with certain conversations and topics. He penned this in our DMs. When Zeram reached out to him, telling him that in reality it was breaking me down, Zeal pulled up the pinned messages, and I had to clarify that my mind had changed. I think people should be allowed to grow uncomfortable with topics or conversations. I agree with that last part. That's totally fine. Okay, what is this? In regards to what I wanted to mention earlier, this is from Zeram. Unless you intend to destroy the work environment completely and lose the connection/employees we currently have the privilege of working alongside of, you are going to need to listen to me very carefully. It is of the utmost importance that the work environment that you are cultivating here is safe and respectful, so that those that are involved feel comfortable working and continue to actually do so. I have heard or been exposed to a number of recent interactions with your employees that have been questionable, concerning, or just outright unacceptable. This includes instances of you screaming/yelling at staff members during periods of frustration and voice calls, to a lack of acknowledgement and display of proper boss and coworker etiquette and professionalism, especially in private settings. Wow, that was perfectly read. The reason this is something that needs to be taken extremely seriously is because it leads to scenarios in which the affected individual will become afraid to speak up if they ever feel uncomfortable or have any personal boundaries that have been crossed from your behavior, which is due to the power imbalance between one boss and themselves, a mere worker. They may become scared that they do not have the right to speak out because you are the one in charge and the one providing them payment, and thus keep quiet and suffer alone due to a fear of backlash or negative response coming from you, which we have already seen via screaming and call and inappropriate discussion through DMs. Under no circumstance should you, the boss and leader figure behind this project, be sending any of your associates content of sexual nature or questioning said associates regarding content of that nature, and I expect you to be implementing these changes going forward. Damn. That is good context, though. That happened on August 10th. Okay. That is good context. I do like, that's a good screenshot. I like that. That's okay, not like, oh, I like it, it's dirt on Zeal. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I like this because it's like, okay, this is actual, like, proof that he has been told about his behavior being deplorable to people. This is, yes, okay. Zerum advocated for improvement that Zeal never improved upon. This came after a conversation I had with Zeal on August 3rd, 2025 that made me so sick I nearly quit pressure. He also had a habit of calling other women or feminine presenting individuals animal nicknames and possessive me/my pronouns. Multiple female or feminine individuals on the team can confirm that this happened to them and that they were uncomfortable. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I look down and I read that, hello, little kitty. The most Discord moderator shit. Oh my God. Okay. Multiple contributors mentioned to me once we discussed this material that they would find it very uncomfortable when Zeal called me nicknames and spoke sweetly to me in voice calls. Typically, I would join calls and he would greet me by saying, hello, little kitty. That's so fucking weird. Yo, Zeal's so fucking odd, bro. I'm sorry. Or something of a similar nature. I had started employing a tactic to stay silent when he called me nicknames in calls. He either did not pick up on this or simply ignored it. Other individuals would sometimes call him out or tell him to stop in voice calls. Zoom would do this especially when they were in calls, calling it inappropriate and weird. Yeah, that's so fucking odd, dude. Like, oh my, so fucking weird. Oh, man. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm like still kind of chuckling on that. There was resistance to having more structured and direct communications between team members, developers, and other contributors we worked with. It felt disorganized, and I felt like we had to have everything go through Zeal. With Zeal, despite the fact that I had rejected him, I always felt like I was his girlfriend. What? Wait. With Zeal, despite the fact that I had rejected him, I always felt like I was his girlfriend anyways. Somewhere between being a mother and a girlfriend for a grown man and the advice I gave him and the helping hand I reached out. Huh? Okay. I always felt like I was his girlfriend anyways. So you weren't his girlfriend? Conversations of a light, even flirty nature, were common between us. Zeal would often also vent about the game's progress to me. Sometimes I felt like I was being treated as a kid. I regret ever doing that now that I am learning what he has done to others and I'm processing my own damage. What is important to know here is I have told Zeal at least once about each of these things. I do not believe I should have that I should have to state these boundaries more than once, especially considering I was technically his employee. Yeah, I agree. Because of my experience with Zeal, multiple of my friends outside of Roblox offered to come with me to RDCs, so I did not have to be alone with him. Okay. Other points of tension with Zeal during Pressure's development. During QA tests, before updates, or during times when the game was in maintenance, everyone would get on call to do testing and ensure everything from the developer build was ported over to the main game. Under it says, these calls were extremely tense. I would stop attending them because it would always involve Zeal yelling at someone or something about the game. People regularly talked about how much they dreaded these calls during this part of the development cycle. With certain individuals, when they would finish assets for him, he would say things like, hugs my either a nickname for them or their name explicitly. Okay. I mean, yeah, I do remember reading, like, hugs my Ren line. I don't remember. Was it in fucking... it was also... Oh, yeah, he did it twice. No, there was one time in DMs between him and Ren, and it was also whenever he did in the Twitter DMs, the private Twitter DMs, he said, eats out my Ren. Well, that's a recurring behavior. All right, I'll give you props. I'll give you kudos. That's me clapping my hands. That's not clapping. That's just me snapping my fingers, cat. Yeah, okay. On my power and Pressure, there was a joke going on between some individuals and Pressure that men would come to talk to me. That men would come to me to talk to Zeal and that I was the mouthpiece. This joke was because I am a girl. I am AFAB, so he would listen to me alongside this previous romantic feelings about me. Okay. People in the team sort of knew when I did not tell them. In fact, the day before he confessed, a contributor asked if we were dating during a voice call. Another male contributor laughed it off and said that Zeal did this to everyone. That is not the case. Excuse me. Later, another male contributor told me that Okay, hold on. Sorry. It's like the same sentence just repeated. That almost messed me up. Later, another male contributor told me that he noticed this behavior and, when neither I nor Zeal were in these calls, would tell everyone else how deplorable he found it. A male contributor felt like Zeal never wanted to listen to him, so I would ask questions for said contributor. Zeal never got this contributor's name correct or would call him by someone else's name instead. Okay. In regard to questions on my authority, a lot of it came because I had previous experience in my project management. I wanted to steer Pressure in a direction where everyone was heard and things could go smoothly in the game's development. I could be articulate when I want to, but this is not why I believe people would listen to me. I felt like I had to be in most, if not all, Pressure contributor calls because I felt like I had to be there to ensure they would go smoothly. And as I stated above, Zeal would sometimes not start certain conversations until I was present in the call. I regularly offered to attend meetings Zeal would have with Roblox or other necessary parties. He admitted that he was not a good speaker, and I wanted to do the speaking for him for the betterment of the entire Pressure team. Okay. I'm a person who overstretches my ability, my time, and my boundaries because I want to help. If I noticed that Zeal or other individuals on the team had some issues or required some assistance, I would offer to help or take on a task. Take another sip of water, I'm sorry. Excuse me. As I was saying, I would offer to help or take on a task because I would prefer the burden to be on my shoulders instead. Everyone in pressure was incredibly busy, where lots of staff and contributors were known to not take breaks. Zeal did not enforce this. This was merely the passion of the dozens of contributors on the game. This resulted in me wearing many hats. Excuse me. This is not because I wanted to have my hand involved in anything. This was because I wanted to make things easier for everyone else. I did not want people to become burnt out or stressed because of this game. It ended up burning me out severely. I wanted the game to be released in smaller updates so our team would not be overworked trying to make bigger plus better updates. I also wanted to ensure we had clear timelines and places to schedule work, bugs, and otherwise. For example, I had suggested the team use Trello to list critical bugs and tasks for team managers because everything related to Pressure's development was either left in Discord threads or in Zeal's head. It was definitely more than I should have been capable of holding. It constantly overwhelmed me. Thankfully, with restructuring of the team in early 26, multiple duties were stripped from me and rerouted to other individuals. Okay. Oh, finally, more fucking screenshots. We've only gotten 5. The RDC interactions with Ren and why I think I shooed her away at the conference. And why she thinks I shoot her away at the conference. Both Zeal and another individual, I'll call Y here, had asked me prior to my arrival at RDC if I would want to speak to Ren. Ren and Zeal had apparently spoken about this in person when Zeal asked me why I had Ren blocked. I told Zeal plus Y about my previous experiences with Ren between April to August 2025, and I explicitly said that I was fine with Zeal plus Y hanging out with Ren. However, I did not want to speak with her or be around her for reasons listed in my section about our interactions prior to the conference. Conversations with Y. Okay, let's see here. I think this is from that person. Feels so different, says friend Y. For me, I just kind of surf the wave. Clear expectations. I thought it'd be bad. W Ren at first, but I was like, damn, I need friends. And it was totes okay. But avoid Ren. It's for the best. But you know, I'm just saying, nothing crazy to worry about. I'd say you can blame me later, lol. Kat said, I'm sure Kat is referring to Ren here. I'm sure he's a perfectly fine guy, and I believe that you say that he's great and that he's not crazy or anything. I firmly believe that. I'm just more pissed off that I established a boundary after he established one with me and went on for weeks about how he pretended I was dead to make him feel better and would supposedly throw up. No matter how good of a person he might be, that hurt me, alongside his treatment of Zeal and everyone else. And I don't really want to meet up with someone like that. Everyone is more than welcome to, but I don't appreciate him saying that about me and then crying about how I blocked him out of my own comfort even though he did it multiple times first. It's hurtful, and I'm kind of upset that this is supposed to be an event where we're meeting our teams and also participating in I'm guessing it's supposed to be professional here, in professional meetings. Wait. Whoa, I'm sorry. Sorry for inferring that the grammar should be one thing. Never ask Zombiey a grammar question. He will fuck it up. And also participating in professionally meeting other teams. And the experience I'm going to remember is the night I'm packing, getting a message about how he's crying to Zeal because I blocked him. I'm going to be avoiding him and in any events where he might be participating more just because it'll be extremely awkward for everyone else there. Person Y said, yes. Hey, just be clear. I think you're totally valid, and I do not want you anywhere near him. Even though he's just a misguided person, he made selfish decisions, and it affected people greatly. Whether or not he realizes it or not, damage is damage. The annotation under it reads, treatment of Zeal and everyone else is primarily about the fact that I was told by another Pressure contributor that after Ren quit, that she was going on stages of different servers with the person from that group chat to talk shit about the game. I now understand she was likely using this as an avenue to vent her feelings and frustration. That doesn't make it right. It doesn't matter if you're going on. Okay, guys, I'm pissed at my friend because she did something shitty to me. So I'm going to go in all the servers that I'm a part of, and I'm going to get on stage and talk about just how much I fucking hate that person. Like, no, you don't do that. Doesn't matter if you have BPD or not. I'm sorry. You can't use it as an excuse. You just can't. Like right here, I'm sorry, that's not like, you gotta have some responsibility here. At what point is it not your fault? You know what I mean? Continuing on. Zooming out, because Jesus. Yes, hey, just being clear, I think you're totally valid. I already read that part. He made selfish decisions and it affected people greatly, whether or not he realizes it or not. Damage is damage, but yeah, I'm really fucking sorry. Right now, I'm concerned about Zeal being split between walking with you in our pressure group or with Ren because they are getting along. They are getting along. No, I'm not gonna lie. Kat said, I already don't really want to hang out with I already don't really want to hang out with the group anymore, so I don't really care if he stays with Ren. Person Y says, well, it's not just you but Zerum as well, so chances are that Ren is not going to be with us. I'm gonna make that clear to Zeal and Ren. Kat said, I'm not going to make the decision for him for what he and Ren want to do. They're both capable adults who can make their own decisions on how they want to proceed. I've established my boundary, and at this point, I have no desire to bulge on that. More water. Okay. They're getting along. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Anyway. My last comment here refers to how Zeal and Ren wish to hang out while considering me as a part of the equation. It has nothing to do with sexual conduct or the fact that Ren has allegedly assaulted. That a Ren was allegedly assaulted. I did not know about the sexual encounters until September 6th, and I did not know Ren was allegedly assaulted by Zeal until a few days ago. This screenshot below is from September 3rd, 2025. I told Zeal the same thing as above. Zeal said, Ren is asking, do you hate them? They're ugly sobbing right now because you have them blocked. Other things, but that's one of the things. When Ren approached me at RDC. On September 6, 2025, I was outside the RDC hall speaking to a friend. Once that friend... I'm going to zoom out here. This is like too zoomed in for me. I looked at my phone for a few moments and I was approached by Ren. Ren's document says says this was September 5th, which is incorrect, as this happened during the Builderman Q&A. Why I was awkward was because I had asked multiple other individuals to ask her to not speak to me. Check the section above. That is correct. One of the first things she asked for after saying, One of the first things she asked for after saying hello was exchanging pleasantries was for me to unblock her on Discord. I gave a non-answer because I was frozen in anxiety. Ren asked if she could follow me into the RDC building, and I obliged. I ended up standing outside a panel with my friends. Someone approached me from another game and began talking to me. Ren had disappeared by the time I had finished the conversation. I didn't realize she had gone, and I had no idea when that happened. I very much understand Ren's desire to make amends with other individuals. However, I had alerted multiple people that I was not comfortable with speaking to her, and she had approached me anyway. This is why I was awkward around her. I did not mind being kind to her because she was approaching me, but I did not want to make amends or continue conversation. Oh, don't make another mistake. Continue conversation past pleasantries. Individuals who were with me during this time when Ren showed up were likely averse to her because I told them what had happened to us and the information on Ren and I's relationship prior to the events of RDC tab. I told them that I did not want to speak with her. I am glad that my friends gave some kindness, but I also do not blame them for their adversity or coldness when Ren approached me and followed me inside. You want to know what I'm noticing a pattern here? On all documents? Seems like whenever boundaries are put in place, Ren doesn't really like to listen to them. She doesn't mind overstepping boundaries, is what I've noticed. If you look at the Zeal document, she broke that boundary by telling other people that they had done things when Zeal had asked her to not go and do that. In Kat's document, you can see that hey, there's screenshots right here that, very clearly Kat does not want to hang out with Ren. Making that clear to Ren seems to be going past a boundary. We like to cross boundaries a lot, is what I've noticed. Seems like boundaries aren't really important. Well, anyway. I'm very glad. Next segment. All right, page 30 of 44. Wow, we're already an hour and 15 minutes in. The call to the police. I was not at the events of the police call. There is a claim made that me and the other individuals called the police and that it was done maliciously. That is not the case. 1. I left the award show at 7:23 p.m. Zeal left with me, but we went to each other's hotels alone. The Innovation Awards were an event where if you left the premises, you were not allowed back in. Even if I wanted to return with the rest of my group, I would not be able to. 2. I had brief interactions with Zeal at 8 p.m. when I went to check on him. He walked me back to my hotel room before returning to his. I was in my room from 8:20 to 9:20. 3. The police call occurred sometime between 8:20 and 8:50, either outside or near the Innovation Awards. 4. I went back at 9:30 p.m. to meet up with multiple individuals outside of a Holiday Inn to discuss various work-related and casual topics, including the conference itself. What we saw of the awards, our own projects, and things to do in San Jose. And then Zeal joined me briefly, but he left around 10 p.m. since he had to take an early flight the next day. And then B, me and the other individuals spoke outside the Holiday Inn around 11:30 p.m. And then 5, I was not aware of anything that happened until 11:54 p.m. on Saturday, September 6th, after I returned to my hotel room. What I was told what happened with the police call. 6. Ren had sent messages to a person outlined as X in my glossary showing pictures of staircases and suicidal messages. Under part A of number 6, conversation about the events after the fact played off the suicide attempt like Ren had simply been caught telling people private information. I did not know that Zeal had pressed a specific button of Ren's BPD. I did not know that she was allegedly sexually assaulted. I was not provided additional context. I was extremely disappointed that I allowed myself to believe that was the case. 7. X was freaked out and was unable to call the police themselves. 8. Someone from the pressure team called the police to ensure Ren's safety. People wanted to make sure that Ren was okay and was not in a place to hurt herself. 9. I was told later that Ren was found in a park. Thankfully, she had the kindness of strangers to help her. When most people from the United States hear that someone is attempting to kill themselves, calling 911, emergency services, which includes firefighters, ambulance, and police, is the first thing we do by instinct. This ensures that there is a wider group who can search for the suicidal person if their location is unknown, and that person can be treated medically in the case they are injured. I have had to call emergency services when my friends were injured or missing because I did not have the resources. I did not have the resources as a single civilian to help them. Those who called and witnessed X's breakdown over Ren's current state wanted to ensure that she was alive and safe. Yeah, anyway. The aftermath of RDC, the banning, and why this decision was made. I was given a perspective by the following people. X, the individual above, who is very close friends with Ren, and as far as I am aware, had spent nearly the entirety of RDC with them. This individual was sent the suicidal pictures and messages by Ren that led the police call. Multiple pressure staff had a conversation with X later, believing that X had the truth due to their proximity to Ren and due to caring for Ren enough to call for her safety when she was suicidal. I do not believe X was aware of Ren's alleged assault. Zeal, I no longer believe what he has to say, especially. Okay. I now fully understand the information that I was given is entirely incorrect. I had not known this at the time. Between September 6th and September 7th, I created a document which was only sent to Roblox developer relations regarding the information I knew about the situation, citing that for her own safety and the safety of others by discussing personal matters with others without their permission, which I had believed were consensual at the time. The following was provided to Roblox. Again, please note that this is what I believed / was told to me at the time. It does not mean that I believe any of this now. I fully believe what happened to Ren given her story. I was given false perspectives and believed them to be true and the tension of the events. Please note that this is what was sent below. Okay, pause. Time out for a second. I don't think, if anything, what happens around that time, more specifically, you have, okay, there's primary sources and then there's secondary sources. Right now, this is like a secondary source. You have the primary source, which is Ren and Zeal's telling of the entire situation, and then you have a secondary source, which is Kat's telling of the situation, okay? I understand that what was said at the time may have not of, okay, allegedly of happened, right, in quotation marks. It's still important to note because you can't just throw it out the window because somebody's perspective on the situation. Like, okay, you know what? Like, take a step back. Look at what has all been said. Do things line up? Do things not make sense? Why are we tossing it out the window like it's not important? You have to align things. I no longer believe what he has to say, especially. Like, okay, man. Not me defending Zeal here. I'm just saying, like, you can't throw out, like, first-hand account statements of, like, what happened. You could even contribute it to it being a primary source. Someone who witnessed it happening. Like, dear God, bro. Anyway, moving on. Sent below. Additionally, I'm not the only person who have reported Ren to Roblox developer relations. I provided a timeline and some additional context that was provided to me by others who approached Roblox developer relations. Okay. What I included to Roblox developer relations was the following: a timeline of events that that happened over the entire week, which included the one sexual encounter Ren and Zeal had on September 4th. I would like to reiterate that at the time, I believe that this to be consensual. I believe on was it on the 4th or the 3rd? I thought it was on the 3rd that it happened. 3rd was the first time, and then they had a second one. Yeah, they had a second one. What do you mean? And that second one was fucking as consensual as shit. You can't, like, look at the evidence, man. They were both planning that shit. What do you mean? At the time, I believe this was consensual. Look at the fucking screenshots. Jesus Christ. I was also told that there were multiple other encounters, but I did not have this confirmed, so this was not recorded. The fact that Ren had told multiple people at the conference about the events of their sexual encounters over the course of the conference. I noted in this document as a friend of Ren's that, to my belief from other sources, did not attend the Innovation Awards because they were made uncomfortable by what they were told. I have now learned that this was due to a business meeting which ran at the same time. I am unsure whether this was an assumption made by the sources or if they were not informed that a business meeting was occurring. I do not believe that the people who started this rumor were trying to lie on purpose. The specific word used by sources to describe this was bragged or otherwise went into detail about the listener's consent. Okay. I do not believe this word is correct anymore after Ren's confession. What? Wait, the specific word used by sources to describe this was bragged or otherwise went into detail about the listener's consent. Sorry, my brain's like, what? Anyway, sorry. She bragged about it? I do not believe this anymore. What? Nowhere in Ren's document, is there anywhere, if anyone can point it out, please, is there anywhere in that document that she mentions talking about their encounter, or that they had specifically not wanted it on topic? Because the "don't worry, I won't tell anyone about it" was played off as it was actually, I was trying not to, I was trying not to tell people about that he had sexually assaulted me, not that he didn't want people to know about us having sex, because that was crossing a boundaries that this document also kind of alludes to you liking to break. Moving on. I was told that Ren messaged Y and sent them pictures of the ground at the awards, saying something on the lines of "Come face me like a man, coward." As I do not have these images anymore, I cannot confirm this. Ren details in her document frustration of the stairs of the awards show, and I do not know if this is related to that. Y believes Ren thought Y was the person who told Zeal that Ren was telling people about the sexual conduct, and Ren was letting out her frustration on Y. Y believes Ren thought Y was the person. Yeah, okay, that's that person. Cool. I noticed that Zeal was looking off after the Innovation Awards. He says he received some unpleasant news, so I offered to go to his hotel room to check on him. He had his Discord open, and I saw Discord notifications from X and Ren on the sidebar. He says something along the lines of, "Someone wants to make something public and that I want to keep private." He does not elaborate. At this time, I did not know what he was talking about. After learning that they had sexual conduct hours later, I believe that this was about the fact she was telling multiple people about their conduct. I did not know Ren was allegedly assaulted. Ren was telling other people that she and Zeal had a sexual encounter. Okay. X had said that Ren was describing in detail the sexual conduct between Ren and Zeal. Pictures of the stairwells and roof doors that Ren had shared with X. These showcase an anxious and worried Ren. Again, I do not feel comfortable sharing these. Not only do those pictures have the capacity to trigger an individual, but they also showcase Ren in an unstable mental state, and I do not believe they are necessary to release to the public. I've fucking seen them. I've seen them. I don't know how the fuck somebody got them, but anyway. These were shared with a small number of pressure staff in order for me to place these at my document for Roblox. Probably came from one of those people. Ren physically went to the hotel room of X, the individual who received the suicidal text messages from Ren, to apologize. While I understand Ren's desire to make amends, especially after such a traumatizing situation, I believe that it is inappropriate to go to someone's hotel room to do so without telling them first. Roblox came to their own conclusion regarding these events, and I was told she was banned. The entire time this had happened, I was under the impression that Zeal and Ren had consented. I was told by X and Zeal this was the case. If you're being told... Okay, look. One thing, if Zeal says it, it's one thing. X saying it? X being a close friend saying it too. It's a primary fucking source, yo. Why? We're not using our frontal lobes. We're not using our brains. And it's so annoying. Please, for the love of God. Oh my God. Delete Twitter. Twitter is the fucking bane of my existence. It's so dog shit. It's terrible. It's the ninth circle of hell. It does nothing but spread misinformation. It's... Oh my God. Ugh. Okay. I was told that Ren and Zeal had multiple conversations afterwards discussing their feelings about boundaries and establishing that they were all set. I had been made aware of what actually happened between the two of them privately. I would not have gone to lengths to get Ren banned from RDC. Rather, I fully believe now that this ban should be revoked, instead placed onto Zeal. No, it should be placed on... No, you don't... Hold on. Okay, she tried to kill herself at an event that was you get banned for that shit. It doesn't matter if you are in an unwell mental state. They don't want to take a risk. Roblox doesn't want to be held accountable. She's not getting unbanned. Should Zeal get banned from RDC? Honestly, bro, fucking kick them both out. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, dude. Zeal's an oddball, bro. Zeal's so fucking weird. Everything that I read about this guy, it's like, yeah, this guy's like not on some manipulative shit, but just like he's just an odd dude. Jesus Christ. He should not be allowed to return to RDC. In fact, as a result of Ren's confession, I believe Zeal should be banned not just from RDC, but entirely from Roblox. Okay. Regarding the Block music event, my opinions on this and why my opinion was the one accepted is the following. The information I was given above, which I believed was true at the time. Since Ren no longer worked on the game, it made more sense to me that any individual who were lead composer at the time should have that opportunity. It was my belief that having someone who was the former blank of a game putting on an event was awkward. This wording is only ever used if the game is finished and has been published for a few years. It does not usually apply to work in progress games, which Pressure was. It was a playable experience that was still being worked on, especially considering the overhaul. In my own experiences, you usually have the individual currently in that position conducting those events, since they are the ones working on that IP. Yeah. You don't have the former general manager pull up to the manager meeting. You have the general manager. Ren should have similar opportunities in the future. I do not, however, believe they should be for Pressure, because this game has hurt her in ways unimaginable, and I do not wish for her to have to relive any memories through putting on shows for former fans of the game. A few weeks later, I told Zeal that I knew he had sexual relations with Ren, which, to reiterate, I believe was consensual at the time. He listened to me and apologized. That apology should not be to me. He stated that he wanted to cut contact with Ren because he was afraid that everything would be exposed. At the time, I thought it was... Wait, what? At the time, I thought this was just meant the fact... Wait. At the time, I thought this was just meant the fact that they had consensual sexual relations. Ren's statement later leads me to believe that Zeal was not telling the full truth and that this referred instead to the alleged sexual assault. I provided Zeal with tips for slowly disconnecting with others. Can we get a fucking screenshot? You're giving me a statement, but you're not giving me a fucking... Like, I've had a problem with this in this entire document. You're worried about legal shit, but if it's something he said, it can't be used for defamation because you're all saying this is alleged shit. Well, credibility, none. 007, 7 credibilities, 0 credibility, 0 actual proof, 7 screenshots that provide nothing fucking else. Yeah, I'm being an asshole about this because I've been out of everything I've looked at so far. This is the worst stock I've looked at. Genuinely, this is the worst stock I've looked at in this entire situation. There's so little the best thing. Hold on, what page was I on? 37. The best thing that I like in this document, right, is this. Hold on. Where is it? This right here. The thing that Zerum sent to Zeal. This right here is the best thing in the entire document. Why is this the best thing in the entire document? Because you look at it, it's like, okay, this has been said before. This isn't the first time this has happened. This is actual fucking like, this is actual evidence, right? This is real. This is new shit. I guess all the other stuff is also new shit, but this is like, okay, this is like this. We like seeing this. We don't like seeing it, but we like seeing it because this gives us more of a picture of like who this developer is. You've done nothing but just yap. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Covering some additional points. Kat was telling people that Ren assaulted Zeal. Okay, Ren says that she is not sure if it was me that said this. This is not the case. I did not say this. There's only one thing I could think of that could be related. That this could be related to. On the night of September 3rd, Zeal messaged a person a message around the lines of, "Are you here right now? A bit of an emergency." This message was immediately deleted. When I first saw this, I was going through all the possibilities of what may have happened. When I learned that there was a sexual conduct involved between Ren and Zeal, I briefly considered one possibility was that maybe Zeal was coerced into something he didn't want to do. This was speculated upon for a few minutes at maximum. It was an, oh shit, is someone I cared about hurt situation that I immediately disregarded once I was told by both parties that both parties had consented. I was told in quotation marks that both parties had consented. I would again like to emphasize that consented is in quotation marks because I was told this, and we now have Ren's statement that confirms this was not the case. That's not true. What do you mean? If you were told, like, if you didn't hear from Ren at the time, no, this document fucking sucks. This document is actually shit. Like, okay. You were told that, but did Ren tell you that? Like, Zeal told you that, okay, right? Did Ren tell, like, what the fuck is your point? If you're wondering why I'm upset, okay, it's because right now, as I'm looking at everything, and as I've seen so much shit, what I like to see is actual screenshots and proof. I have read for the past, let's see, hour, 36 minutes, 38 pages. How many screenshots was that? Like, what, 8 of them? 8, 9, maybe? I need to go back and count. Let's go back and count. 8 fucking screenshots. And one of those is a PayPal, screenshot. So it's 7. Jesus fuck, man. Personal tellings of something. Okay, cool. I have a 17-page document full of proof, but I'm not going to post it because of legal shit. You can't get in trouble if it's not you then don't defamate the claim. There are ways to go about it without being defamation. Do we not know this whenever we make something? Like whenever we're making a Google Doc? I know I'm going on this fucking tangent. I'm sorry. I'm just genuinely upset. I feel like I've wasted my time. Anyway, good. I was also told at one point that Ren wanted to get an individual drunk at RDC to have sex with him. After a recent look at evidence from that source that told us this, Ren never said this. Additionally, evidence revealed Ren was simply talking about drinking with another person, not implying she wanted to engage in any explicit contact with another person. I apologize for perpetuating this at any point. Do not say she said this about another person, because this is blatantly false. Okay. Zeal did not know of the bad relationship between Ren and Kat. This is not true. I explained the exact situation that happened between me and Ren on March 31st to 2025, when she messaged me and blocked me out of everything. I live blogged it to a group of 5 higher-ups in pressure, primarily because we were all worried about Ren's safety. Zeal is the one who told me before we went to watch Black Mirror that Ren didn't want to be in the same space as me. Zeal is the one who tried putting Ren and I in a make-up group chat. Zeal was told on August 11th, 2025 that multiple individuals were uncomfortable with Ren due to our perceptions of my situation and the forced firing at the time when Zeal invited her back to the development server. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That statement makes sense. Because, yes, that makes... Okay, that connects. Because in Ren's document, when she reached back out to Zeal to play games, Zeal sent her a server. And then he was like, wait, don't join that. Okay, that lines up. Cool. I told Zeal on September 3rd, 2025, that I did not want to see Ren in person at RDC. Kat did not read the document. I did not read the document for the 2 hours of its release, and I refused to read it knowing it could make me sick and stress me out for more than I already was. I denied the possibilities of what may have been inside the document out of stress and anxiety as well as my personal experiences. I understand that these initial details are wrong. As pressure staff, we're all panicking and confused. We were told to not yet read it. We were told to not yet read it yet. This was not to prevent the spread of information, but rather as a precaution so higher-ups could read the contents first and as not to stress out the dozens of staff members at the time. Do not blame our staff for trying to handle the situation this way. Once it was obvious that the information within the document was retelling of a harrowing, traumatizing experience that happened to Ren, this was informally lifted, and staff members of all levels read the document and came to their own conclusions regarding Ren's statement. I was incredibly stressed at the time of its release and had initially refused to read it knowing it would make me sick. Later that day, it had been read by me, and individuals close to me who have read it thoroughly have assisted me in telling me summaries of certain areas when I have asked. Okay. Cat doesn't pay artists. This is not a claim related to Ren or anything else, but I wanted to clear this up upon hearing various artists speak. I'm out of water. I'm out of water. All right, Raw Dog and the rest of this document, 4 more pages. Jesus Christ. Okay, this is not a claim related to Ren or anything else, but I wanted to clear this up upon hearing various artists speak up. I'm trying my best to ensure that artists are paid for their work. There are times when my payments may have been delayed, but it was because I was an extremely busy person. Everyone should have been paid for their work, for promotional pressure art or otherwise. For artwork of this nature, I had a spreadsheet to keep track. I apologize if I had ever forgotten or delayed payment or otherwise. It was never my intention to not compensate an artist for their work. There is one exception which happened within the past month. I had planned to pay last week, but I was overwhelmed by recent events. I attempted to pay this person, but they rejected the money. I fully understand why they rejected, but despite that, I believe artists should be paid for their work regardless of the situation. I sincerely apologize for being late on this payment. If there is anyone who has not been paid for the work that I commissioned for the game / for promotional material, they can fill out this form. Please provide a Ko-Fi or adjacent link. Remind me what you have made for pressure / promotional material and send me the associated price. To prevent spam reasons, I've limited this form to be only 1 response per person. This option requires users to sign in. I cannot control that. However, this form does not collect emails, so if you're worried about privacy in that regard, then note that I will be unable to see your email. If you were commissioned art assets by Zeal, or he promised to pay you for your work and you are not compensated, I am unable to assist you with this, since I do not have contact with him anymore. I am not responsible for his financial irresponsibility, and I am sorry for any losses people experienced because of him. Conclusion. Oh, man. The conclusion. What did we come to a conclusion to, Kat? Following this situation, I will be taking a permanent leave from the internet. Oh, okay. I will no longer be using social media or engaging in online media. I will take this as a learning lesson, do self-reflection, and work on doing better for my in-person community. I will also be visiting a psychologist for a proper evaluation and resources to tackle my issues. I had no idea whatsoever that Ren had been assaulted. Her document is the first revelation I had of the truth. I am ashamed that I had been lied to by Zeal and others for months regarding the events that happened in San Jose. I do not expect forgiveness from Ren. She's gone through a lot of horrible things, and I was not there for her. I am sorry. There is no amount of apologies I can give to Ren that will make all of this suddenly better. She was allegedly assaulted, and I did not know this whatsoever. I was led to believe that everything had been consensual. Even if I know this, I know that what I did and believed will not fix the situation at hand. You were hurt, I contributed to it. I know that I was lied to, but that will not fix anything. I can only take what I have learned, apply it to what happens, and work on mindfulness for the future. I can only hope that you have the resources and support to start your healing journey. Please give my former coworkers a helping hand, including Ren. Nearly no one was aware of what happened at RDC, and everyone I have spoken to from the team since is disgusted by Zeal's actions in response and want nothing to do with him. People wasted years of their lives working on a game they loved, thinking that the creative lead was a good person. Instead, some of the best work I've seen on the platform is forever tied to a rapist and his actions. Might want to annotate that note at the very start that says you changed that, the rape shit to sexual assault, because right here at the end, you call him a rapist. And if it's alleged, that right there is a statement. So, just saying. Additional resources. Yeah, this is all the resources to... If you guys need them, you are all welcome to take a look at them. I'll link this document in the description below. You're welcome to read it. I think this document was shit. Not because it did a bad light at painting... It did a bad light at painting Zeal, quite honestly. I think it really did. It didn't show us shit. There were 7 screenshots and a 44-page document and a whole lot of yap. I'm sorry. If you're going to write a document, I need screenshots, right? I need evidence. You are an account, but it's your word, right? And I'm not saying you don't have any credibility here, because you do. You do have credibility, but you're withholding information. Oh, it's uncomfortable. I don't want to share this shit. Okay, then how are we supposed to know? We're just supposed to trust your word on it? I'm sorry. The world we live in, I like seeing shit. I like seeing proof. I like seeing evidence. I like seeing things that point out to things actually happening. And you could call me whatever you want to fucking call me on this. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it didn't happen. I know, right? But if you're making a claim over something that happened over a messaging site and you have a message that provides that proof, I would like to fucking see it. Respectfully. So, clip that out of fucking context. I hate Twitter. Anyway, yeah, that's going to do it. I hated reading this. This document was so shit. Thank you guys, for those that have stuck around to the very end. Thank you for listening. Wow. Yeah, but that's gonna do it all for today. See ya.